How's it going, everyone? Skoot Illithid back here again, and today I'm going to be talking about how to transition from being a player to a DM. Now, the first thing that you need to think about is, are you going to be doing a published campaign, or are you going to be creating a world for your players? Now, honestly, as a new player, a new DM, player going to a DM, I would honestly say go with a published version first, because that way you have all the information there for you. You have encounters and rewards and storyline that you don't have to come up with. But if you'd rather not do a publish, I mean, that's completely fine. If you'd rather make your own setting, your own world, your towns, your people, your NPCs, go for it. I'm just saying that it would be easier as a player going to a DM doing something published that has already been done and that multiple people have already ran. That way, if you have questions about a certain chapter or adventure in the published book, you can be like, well, let me go online and see and talk to other DMs and other players or people that have ran through this encounter and get their opinions and their advice. But like I said before, if you're running your own world and stuff, there's nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong with that at all. As a DM, your job is to not try to kill the players. That's not your job. Your job is to create a setting that your players can come and join and play in and have fun. That's the end goal. Is if everyone's having fun, then you're doing your job. If you're having fun as a DM and the players are all laughing, they're having a great time, that's it right there. Even if it's off book or the rules are kind of skewed for that session, as long as everyone's having fun, that's what matters. That's why we play this open world RPG Dungeons & Dragons game, is to get with your buddies and just have fun. Your job as a DM is to keep the session running smoothly, to have encounters, to have maps, to have NPCs and monsters and places for your players to interact with. Not so much, oh, I'm going to put in this level 15 wizard and my players are going to have such a hard time with it and I'm going to try to win and try to defeat them. I mean, that's not the case at all. Like I said, as long as people are having fun, you're having fun, that's all there is. That's it. You're doing your job as a DM. Next thing is, don't have everything concrete. Don't have, this is the town, this is the storyline. If the players don't do this, then it completely ruins everything that I've said. Don't railroad your players. Be flexible with what you have at your disposal and the stuff that you have written. You're going to learn really fast as a DM that nothing goes to plan, ever. Nothing goes to plan. You have this awesome farmhouse, and it's all the bandits are ready, and you have all your people and all your rewards ready, and the players might not even go to the farmhouse. They might completely skip that road. They might go up to the farmhouse and see a bandit in it and just completely burn it down. And all the stuff you had in there, all the encounters and treasures and rewards for your players that you had, are just burning. Because players are unpredictable, and that's what makes D&D. Never tell your players no. No, you cannot do that. You cannot do that in an open world role-playing game. No. Never tell your players no. Now, there are ways to make them do things that you want them to do without them knowing. Because you have to think, you're the DM, you are the actor, you have the story. They don't know the story, only you do. So if you say, this happens or this happens, then it's all according to plan to them. So for instance, a rogue gets up on a caravan and wants to take this caravan off and just run down the road with it. Now, that's not according to plan. You honestly don't really want him to do that. I mean, you can't tell him, no, you can't get up there and ride off on these horses. So instead of telling him no, have him, when he whips the reins down on the horses take off so fast that it breaks the connection between the horses and the caravan. So the horses are left running off by themselves and leaving the rogue stuck there on the caravan. So you didn't tell the player no. You, as the DM, got what you wanted. You didn't really want him going down this road on these horses, and to him, it's better than the DM telling him no, and to him, it's according to plan. I mean, that possibly could have happened. It realistically could have happened, so it happened. That might be a little confusing to you guys, the whole no, don't railroad people example with the caravan. So if you guys have questions about that, let me know, and I could try to say it in a different way. So if you guys have questions about that, let me know. When you're transitioning from a player to a DM or a game moderator, read up on the rules. At least know combat and about writing NPCs and maps of that sort. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to know everything. For your first session, You don't have to know, I know all the races, I know all the classes, I know all the spells by heart. You just really have to know about combat and situations, because honestly, a lot about DMing is just every session you're going to grow as a DM. You're going to learn how to do things on the fly quicker. You're going to have different ways to improvise certain situations. But that just comes with time. You can't all learn that in one day. So don't be discouraged if you don't know everything at the table when it comes up. Another thing is that you're going to be looking at your player's handbook a lot when you first start DMing. And don't be discouraged by that. There's nothing wrong with that, because there's going to be a situation that happens or a spell somebody doesn't really know, or a different encounter, and you're going to have to be like, all right, well, let me check the rulebook and see how this would work out, how it would work itself out. And don't be discouraged by that at all. If you're a new DM, you're still learning the basics of DMing and hosting this world for 3 to 4 players. Don't be discouraged by not knowing the rules, and also be open with if players say, hey, I think this is how it goes, or I don't think that's correct. Don't get disgruntled with them. Don't get upset with that player. Like, well, I'm the DM. I'm supposed to know everything. If he has clarification, then take that. Maybe after the session, go ahead and double check on some of the rules or questions that you guys had during the session. So that way you can take that information and you plug it in, and you know that for next time. One last thing though is, as a player going to a DM, knowledge is power. Knowledge. You'll always want to be reading about races and classes and different encounters and the combat styles and disengaging and ready action and all the different things that your players could do. Another big thing that you can do is to, after the session, ask your players, what they liked, what they didn't like. Did you guys like this encounter, or did the party kind of have a rough time with this encounter but they blew through this one? Kind of take those things into effect for your next session. That's it for me, guys. There's so much more to cover about from player to DM transition. There's a lot to cover, but I thought I'd go over just some basic stuff that I had on my mind when I was driving around earlier this morning. So if you guys have any questions or comments, or your own little tips and tricks or advice you'd like to throw down in the comments, that would be fantastic. So that's it for me, guys. You have a great day, great night, wherever you are, and I will see you guys later.